What's going on, y'all? Nick here, Mr. Millionaire Insight. What's going on? How are you? Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hope you guys are having a good Friday. How's it going? So, come on in. Come on in. Hey, Charles. Hey, Monique. Hey, or Monica. Jilly's Donuts. Izzy. Hey, what's going on? How are you guys doing? Hope you are having a great start to your weekend. Or for those of us who are off this or off today, welcome to the start of your weekend. All right, guys. So I'm going to do a two-parter tonight. I know I usually stick to one concept per episode, but this one I felt like it had to be a two-parter, which is why I'm starting a little bit earlier tonight. I usually start at 7:30. So what I want to do is kind of go into two parts tonight, and I want to cover the two topics that I have, but also have open up for couple of minutes of questions that you might have about anything that I have said. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. For those of you who don't know my business, don't know my face, don't know my name is Nicholas, aka Mr. Millionaire Insight. So my brand, my business is basically to help people find their God-given purpose, but more so to go ahead and show people things like how to make money online, how to make more, save more, get out of debt, retire well, protect your income. Those are the pillars of my business. But I also educate people on ways to make money online because I am an entrepreneur that primarily all of my business consists of online opportunities or online ways to make money. But I wanted to kind of focus on these specific two, and these issues are, for this episode, we're going to be dealing with what's called the shiny ball syndrome and how to address the objection for those of us who just market any kind of opportunity. How much do you make? When people ask you, if you've been in business and online business, or you've been in network marketing or whatever it is, one of the main objections or one of the main questions that come up for new people, whether you're in network marketing, you're in affiliate marketing, you're in brick and mortar marketing. Hey, Tiffany, brick and mortar marketing. This comes up, especially when you're offering someone a quote unquote commission based opportunity, right? So that is the question that comes onto the minds of people that have not been experienced in the industry, right? So as entrepreneurs, those things are, things that plague us a lot and we can fall into very easily, because even veterans in the industry, even veterans as entrepreneurs, or you're in network marketing, whatever it is, we can still fall prey to those two questions, or those two, what I call, obstacles. Hey, Maria. Hey, if I missed your comment, I'm sorry. So sorry. They go by so fast, guys. Some of my teammates are in the live, so guys, do me a huge favor. Double tap the screen and share the live, because this is going to be a two-parter. So we're gonna have two themes in one episode. So buckle up, grab a pen, grab a notebook, because you're gonna want to take some notes. All right, so for those of you who are just catching on to the series, this is episode 5, right? The other episodes will be on my YouTube channel. You can go to Mr. Millionaire Insight by searching in the YouTube search bar. You can find my channel there, or you can just go to my link tree in my profile, and it's also in there, right? I don't know why I'm getting tongue tied today. I guess it's because it's Casual Friday, and my vocal patterns want to quit. But we gonna push forward, right? So if you haven't already done so, follow me. If you are already following me, but you did not hit that bell to turn on notifications, make sure that you do, because you'll be able to know when I go live on TikTok and when I release episodes on YouTube. All right, now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's get to the nitty gritty. Now, I hope y'all get used to this mic here, because it is kind of hard to pin this here. I tried to pin it; it was like right here on my neck, so it's like kind of stabbing me. So I didn't want to keep it there. So I'm just gonna be holding this. It's gonna be a little strange for me because I'm usually using my hands. I'm that kind of speaker, you know what I mean? So just bear with me, right? So, guys, one of the things that I encountered when I first started, like my first experience in network marketing, was for an insurance company. If you guys know, and I love the company. I still love the company. I love the company so much, it's not even funny. I've been there probably the longest, but it is also what and where I gained my training ground when it comes to getting into direct sales, right? It's called Primerica, right? It's a life insurance company, right? And they do great things. When I first started, I didn't know anything about presentation. I didn't know anything about connecting. I mean, I was a personable guy. Like, I'm easygoing. I can talk to people. I've always had the gift of, really? Tiffany, you're a life insurance agent? That's what's up. I'm also I'm also still an active life insurance agent, right? But like in the beginning, like that really made me nervous. And ironically, because I spent my entire life in this mode where I was always able to talk to people, always able to connect on a certain level, but when it came to selling something, it was a bit nerve-wracking. I mean, it is what it is, right? You got to get in there. You have to assimilate your product. You have to learn why they do what they do. It doesn't matter what business you're in. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know why they do it. You have to know why it benefits your potential client. And you have to have a firm enough grasp to establish an authority type of a position when you go into an interaction. But one of the main things that can come up is, how much money do you make? I've sat across from literally hundreds of people, right, in interview rooms and stuff like that. And the first time I got that question back in 2009, I froze. Why did I freeze? Because I didn't make any money. If you know anything about life insurance, you know you have to be licensed in order to sell life insurance, right? You can talk all you want, like people on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, they'll talk about life insurance, but they can't really sell it because they don't have an active license. So picture me, 2009, and nervous out of my mind because somebody sitting across from me who I am actively trying to recruit is asking me, how much do you make? And I was like, well, I have been in the business, and you start saying all the things you are told to say in that situation. But if anybody knows me for any kind of time, you guys know that I have to be able to believe in what I'm saying before I say it. Not that I didn't believe in the company, but the fact that I figured I had to make money in order to tell somebody else they can make money, right? Which is not true. Regardless of the industry you're in, especially, you know, excuse me, industries that allow you the opportunity to provide somebody with the ability to make money, it can get very dicey when you first start to talk about money, right? But here's my response, and here's how the years of experience have taught me to address that. I am so glad you asked that question. Not to answer your question with a question, but I'm curious. Why did you ask that question? Right? And when they respond to it, you go, that's great. That's a great reason why. Here's the thing though. No matter how much is in my bank account right now, does that change how much your bills cost every month? Right? No, it doesn't. How much is my money going to pay your bills? But more importantly, how much are you here to make? Because let's be honest, and you're still talking to the person, you can come in and you can make more than me. See how I did that? It turned from trying to trap you, because let's be honest, some people, I'm not saying everybody, some people ask that question to trap you, to say, oh, well, you don't seem like you're making money. So, what are the chances that I will make money? Right? Some people want to trap you like that. Not everybody. Some people just innocently ask that question. But either way, those two ways are the way that you start to address that question. So you turn the objection, or you turn the question, right? You turn the question back onto how they can improve. And it's not just turning it back on them, but it is making them think about, hey, I can actually make more than I think he or she makes. Because people, you have to remember, you're recruiting somebody or you're offering somebody an opportunity, they have the same opportunity you did, but somebody could come in and go faster than you did, right? And some people can come in and they don't go as fast as you did. So tell them, listen, great question. At the end of the day, the choice is yours to how much do you want to make, right? So how much do you want to make? And then you talk about, do you know that you have the opportunity to make more? Oh, really? How is that? Because I am going to be helping you, you can learn from my mistakes, but you can also take my successes. So you take the lessons I've learned and then learn from the mistakes I made that slowed me down, so you could make twice as much, twice as fast. Because like you guys ever, well, I don't know how many of you are into NASCAR, but there's a principle in racing. It's called drafting, right? It's when two people in a race, or however many, they get behind. There's usually two cars that you'll see. You'll see one race car that's an in front, and he's going for the gusto, but you see the person behind him get directly behind him, and they're like this much apart, right? They're like that much apart. But why? And you see them stay there for a good 5-10 minutes, and then they make their move. But why? I'll tell you why. Scientifically, it makes sense, because a car, especially race cars, are designed, when air comes in contact with them at that speed, it lowers the car. It's called downforce, right? So the car behind them goes directly behind them, so they don't get that wind resistance, right? So it's kind of like the concept of a slipstream, right? So you're not getting as much pressure exerting the force on your vehicle, so you're going faster than the car in front of you. But people don't catch that. But then when the person is done and ready to make their move, they go right up behind them, stick it out for a couple of minutes, and then at the right point in time, they pull out and pull ahead. Why? Because they're avoiding the pressure, they're avoiding the resistance, they're avoiding the negative energy that's coming to them. In this case, it would be your mistakes, as an upline, as a sponsor, however you want to call it, right? You avoid those things, so you can, the person that you're talking to about the opportunity that they have, they will be able to learn from you and succeed faster and potentially pass you, right? So that is how you successfully navigate that question of do you have how much money do you make, right? You could go for the Brody approach and be like, well, my money ain't paying your money, so let's talk about a real objection you have. But one thing I thought about that's a little less confrontational is, why do you ask that question? Is this something you feel like you might have trouble doing? If so, I can assure you, myself and everybody else that's in this office or on this team or however it fits into your scenario, we're all here to help. So we want to make sure you can get to succeed as fast as possible. And then with the positive reinforcement. See, marketing is a science. And there's no accident that my series is called The Science of Marketing. Human beings like to be reinforced. They like to feel good about themselves, right? Here's a little nugget that's a little sidebar. See, let me see. Hold on one second. Wynn says, what are we talking about? Marketing? Yes, we are talking about marketing. This is called The Science of Marketing. This is the Science of Marketing series. So that's what we're talking about. So when you're sitting across from someone, salespeople in the traditional sense, they figure because they have to present, because they have to prepare for any scenario, any question, any comment, or whatever it is, right? They feel like they have to be the one always talking, right? But just like in relationships, if you're doing all the talking, you're not going to be able to listen. There is a reason why God made us with one mouth and two ears, right? Because he wanted us to listen more. And it's the same concept in marketing. If you want to be successful in marketing, you have to be able to listen to what your customer, your client, or your potential attendee, for those of you who are in nonprofits, are doing, right? You have to be able to listen, because here is another fact, right? People, whether you're in a nonprofit or you're in a for-profit business, people will teach you how to sell them, right? So what do I mean? If you let somebody ask enough questions, they will tell you what you need to know and the objections they have to overcome in order to get them to see your way, or to see what and how you can help them. And that goes for if you're trying to sell somebody a product or service, or if you want somebody to come attend your event, right? You get people asking questions, you know how to provide the answer. Because a classic success principle in business is you find a need and fill it, right? How do you know what someone needs? You can't just look at someone all the time and see what they need. Hey, Kelly, you can't always see what people need at face value. So what do you have to do? You have to you have to actually ask a question. But if you're the only one talking, it becomes a monologue and less of a conversation, right? When people have conversations, they don't feel like they're getting sold. And let me take that little tidbit there for a second, because I feel your hesitation. Nick, I don't like to sell. I don't like sales. I don't like, I don't want to force people. I don't want to go with people. I don't want to do it. See, let me dispel this myth, right? Everything is sales. Everything that you do in life that involves another person is sales. Sales or marketing, at the very root of it, is simply you getting the other person to see your way, or to see why doing what you are asking them or telling them about doing would work for them. Think about this. Have you ever asked somebody to go to the movies with you and they kind of didn't really want to see an action movie, guys, or a romantic comedy, ladies, right? Not saying either or, can't like either or, because I like romantic comedies too. Don't tell nobody, right? But if you ever ask them that question, you will actually find out that it might not be something that happens automatically. Hey, I want to go see a movie you don't really want to see. Yeah, let's do that. Doesn't work like that. You might have to tell them, hey, why? You really might want to see this because it has so and so in it, and you like so and so. So let's go see so and so. And when we done seeing so and so, you gonna be happy because you wanted to see him or her anyways, right? And they decide, what did you just do? You made a sale, right? If you are in a relationship, nay, if you are married, you are great at sales, right? Now, listen, I'm a Christian. I believe in God's provision. I believe in God's leadership. I believe in God's guidance, and having someone that He custom made for you. I believe that. You might not want to, have to, need to believe that, but I do, because I know if I told you my story, you would see why, right? But here, even in where God provided you, or has provided and intended someone to be for you, it doesn't absolve you from the work. I still had to have, between me and my wife, decide, hey, are we gonna have Chipotle today, or are we gonna have roti today? Are we gonna go to the beach, or are we gonna go to a movie, or just stay in or go out, right? It's all work, it's all sales. See, what you see when you see direct salespeople, or you see these horrible interactions in your perception, you see people forcing people. You see people who can't accept no. And here, I'm a motivational speaker, right? So it might be very ironic for me to be in this line of questioning, or in this line of talking, but when somebody tells you no, yes, at times it may mean not right now. But sometimes people just don't want what you have. Sometimes people just don't want it, right? So in lieu of focusing on the word no, you have to look beyond and see why exactly they have that. And in that no is a question, right? So what am I saying with saying all of this? What you don't like when you say you don't like sales is you don't like forcing people, right? But when you ask questions, when you listen to your potential customer, when you ask for feedback, online marketers, you get to hone your approach and to reach your perfect customer, right? Because it is a relationship. I forgot who I was telling recently, but I think it was on our Zoom in our community, which, by the way, is a $500,000 community. Shameless plug, right? We were talking about it, and I said, guys, you have to look beyond the sale. See, a lot of the problem with sales is that, regardless of the industry that you are, but especially egregious in online marketing, is you get someone that joined your team or joined your opportunity or whatever it is, and then again, after the sale, they can't hear from you. They can't even buy a vowel from you, right? But you have to establish relationship. Whenever you start in any kind of sales interaction, any kind of marketing interaction, from the time they see your face, from the time they hear your voice, they know they're starting to get to know you, whether you or them realize it or not. You have just started a relationship, and how well you navigate said relationship is going to determine the success of your business together. Now, let me ask you something, and this is especially for online marketers like myself. Do you think, pick any relationship in your life, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter, whatever it is, could you every day for like 6 months be in the same house with someone or be in the same space with someone and not tell them a thing? But every time you see them, you give them something. You don't say anything to them, you just give them something, right? And the give in this analogy here is giving them your link, giving them your video, giving them whatever it is, right? If you just hand somebody something, what kind of relationship are you building? Because you don't know, you haven't said anything to learn about them. That may be your son, or maybe your daughter, maybe your husband, maybe your wife. But if you stop talking to them, you're not going to continue to maintain a positive relationship, right? I'm a talker. So when my wife does not want to talk, it is very hard, right? Communication is key. Everything you do to be successful in marketing relates to how well you can connect with your potential customer. I was also saying on that Zoom, on that mentoring Zoom, that if people know, like, and trust you, they will go to war with you. What do I mean? You stop being a commander and start being a source of inspiration. If you ever had, have you ever heard the saying, leaders lead from the front, right? Which means you don't sit there in your palace, Shangri-La, and send your soldiers out to do your bidding. It sounds very villainous, right? But good leaders, good kings, good queens, whatever you have, the ones that are on the battlefield, the ones that are fighting in the thick of things with their men, with their soldiers, with their, those are the people that people will fight and die for. Because why? They feel like they can identify with them. They feel like they care about them because, one, they pay attention, and two, they've taken the time to understand them, right? So these are the precepts of maintaining a good relationship, personal or business. It doesn't matter which is. If you could maintain that relationship with somebody, because like I shared in my previous episode, it takes 7 touches, which means I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about it takes you being in front of someone 7 to 10 times before they actually buy something from you, or before they actually get intrigued enough to be ready to buy. Because some people can be stubborn. Why do you think most commercials, well, they used to be 30 seconds, right? But you see that, how many times? Pick one commercial that you know from the top of your head. Don't think, pick it right now. How many times have you seen that within an hour of watching TV or being online? Right? It's because marketers know that you have to constantly be in someone's thought process. You're not stalking them, but you're just keeping your opportunity, your business, your product, your service, you're keeping it relevant in their minds. So they're always thinking about it, right? Think about this. When I say, can you say your ABCs? Don't think, put the first thing you think about in the chat right now. When I say the ABCs, what's the first thing you think about? Right? The song. The first thing you think about is the song. You listen to me. I bet you 5 out of 10 of you can't say the ABC song without singing some snippet of the song in your head. Why? Because you've heard it so much that you can't even get rid of it. You don't think about it all the time, but when you've begun to associate the ABCs with that particular song, right? And there's a reason for that, right? There is a reason for that. The deeper reason is that human beings, music is the only thing that can affect a human being without their permission. Did you know that? Music is the only thing that can affect a human being without outside influence from another person, without their permission or realization, right? Think about it. When you listen to music, like you listen to something hype and amped up, you feel amped up. But you listen to a sad song and you start to feel down, or you start to feel subdued, or you start to feel like, less happy, right? Or less joyful, right? There is a science behind that, right? It's no accident, right? So all of this factors into the relationship you build so that you have less questions. But here's the thing. The opportunity that I have and the teammates that are in this live right now that we don't have to deal with rejections. There's no rejection, absolutely none, because our business is on autopilot, right? Which means we have automations that do the selling and telling for us, right? So when somebody unsubscribes to my email list, I don't know. All I know is when my phone goes off, when I made money. Autopilot, right? There's no, like, you still get questions, obviously, but when you have your business working for you 24/7, what objection are you worried about? And think about the reason why we have automations as well. One of the people that the person, I should say, that founded our group, she literally talked to 5,000 people. Tell me, is it humanly possible to talk or market to 5,000 people in a day or in a month? Would you be able to touch and effectively close, for those of you who are in direct sales, 5,000 people in a month? I doubt it. It's hardly possible because there's only 24 hours in a day. You got families, you got friends, you have other things that you want to do, need to do, have to do, should be doing. You don't have the time for that, right? So that's why you have automations. So you absolve the whole objection conversation. There's nothing to object to. You make $300 to $600 a day on autopilot. You have automations that basically do the selling and telling for you. A company that builds your website. A company that literally gives you step-by-step training on how to market, including this. Because when you join me, you get access to this, right? You get access. And when I say not just this, as in this series, but me. And literally almost 1,000 people that are willing to help you succeed, right? This is what we do, why we do what we do, because we want to help people, right? So with that said, I want to move to the next thing in my series today, or in my episode today, the shiny ball syndrome. Now, Nick, what in the world is shiny ball syndrome? Excuse me. You ever see Over the Hedge movie with Bruce Willis? Let's see, who's that? Bird, I think it says Birdie. God bless, man. Have a great night. You too. Take care of yourself. So Have you guys ever seen Over the Hedge? It's a movie with Bruce Willis and Steve Carell and a couple others. And there's an animated movie. It's supposed to be for kids, but it has a whole lot of stuff that might not necessarily be appropriate for kids. But okay, it's a cool movie, right? This is the thing that I love, I love about that movie, right? Aside from the animations and all that stuff, one of the key things that I loved about this movie is about overcoming obstacles, right? But the thing that I'm talking about is where the hamster, Hammy, that's original, right? Hammy literally can get distracted by anything, right? 2 seconds, you put some in front of him, squirrel. Ironically, he's a squirrel, right? And he's gone off to do whatever and then come back. See, what happens a lot, especially in opportunity and an online opportunity is more prevalent, is that shiny ball syndrome. How does it relate to us, network marketers, online marketers? How does affiliate marketers, how does it relate to us? We can get in an opportunity, especially early in the business, and figure, okay, I've been in this for a couple of weeks or whatever it is, and I haven't made money yet. I know I'm still learning. I know it's a process, and I know we have the training and mentoring and all that kind of stuff. And this is every and any industry in online marketing, right? But I just saw Justin. Justin made $4,100. Like, what is he doing, right? Or I see Bethany. She's in Mona V. I don't know, another opportunity. She made $10,000 in her first week. What is she doing? And more importantly, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not there? Why am I not that person? Why am I not making as much as they are? Why am I not? And you get into this hour-long conversation in your head as to why you are not. And not only do you do that, but it lures you away to, hey, let me go see what they're doing in that opportunity. Maybe this one doesn't work. No, no. Most opportunities work. Here's another way of saying that. You ever joined the gym? Think about it. Back in January, which not a lot of you may know this, but it's probably one of the most busy times for fitness and gyms. Why? Because everybody is on that kick. New year, new me. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I'm going to lose 100 pounds. I'm going to lose 10 pounds, whatever it is. And I'm going to be at the gym. And I go to the gym, going day in, day out into the gym, and I'm working out. By the second week, not seeing results. Man, I've been eating sorta right. I have been getting on the treadmill, but I kind of been on the weights. I mean, I kind of been drinking more water. I kind of been sleeping right. What I run a business and everything, so I really can't sleep like that. So I get as much sleep as I can, right? But it is now the third or fourth week, and you have not moved too much, and you begin to think, you know what? Maybe I should just put it down for a little bit, and then I don't go back to it for a day, a week, a month, whatever it is, right? And then you think, okay, so life is life be life in. So let me just do what I need to do. And next month, I'm going to get them. Next month, I'm going to get back hard with it. Right. Or if you canceled your membership because it is now month 3 and you don't really use the membership like that, you figure, okay, when I'm ready again, when school lets out, or when school goes back in full session and stuff like that, and the kids aren't here and all that kind of stuff, I'll go back. But you join another gym, or you see an advertisement and they think, oh yeah, you're selling $10 to start and you could come whenever you want. I'm gonna do that. And you go join another gym. And for the first week or two, you go hard because it's brand new and things like that. And then you hit that same wall. But why? Why do you keep hitting the same wall? It's not the gym, because the gym works. You go to the gym every day or at least 4 times a week, the gym is going to work. Yeah, I knew somebody would say that, Tiffany, but I'm not meaning you personally, even though it sounds like that, right? But the gym works. The opportunity works. But you have to do what is needed to be done. And this is the thing. It's not just about doing the right thing, right? It's great to say, I'm going to do the right thing, right? But it's about doing the right things, doing the things you're supposed to do. For those of us in my business, or not for in the opportunity I promote with you, posting for 30 minutes and spending time on social media. Are you creating your 3 posts a day, right? Using the post that they give you, we literally give you during this Miracle May challenge that we have going on. We're literally giving you the post, the ideas to create. And if you've been following my stuff in the group, I'm actually giving you the stuff I am using, right? That's getting me leads, right? That's getting me sales, right? So it's literally given to you, right? But are you doing the things long enough, consistently long enough to achieve success? See, what people don't realize, just like I talked about in my last episode, I talked about distractions. Successful people, wealthy people, they avoid distractions like the Black Plague, right? Because they know that they have to be laser focused on what they're doing so they can get their desired result. Excuse me. Guys, by the way, if this is hitting you, if this is getting you value, please double tap the screen, share the live, and thank you for those of you who have done so already. I really appreciate you commenting and all this kind of stuff. It really, really, really helps. So keep double tapping the screen. So the thing that I'm trying to impress on you is it's not about the opportunity you're in. If you're in an opportunity and you see someone, you're in a business model and you see someone successful, you see couple people successful, you see 10, 15, 20 people successful in the business, it works, right? Like the person like Michelle who founded our group, right? She cleared over 200,000 since January. 200,000. So it's working, right? It's working. And we may not all be on the same level. We may not be all in the same space where we are, making the same money, but it's because of the mindset. It's because of the application of these principles that I'm going over in this series that will make the difference, because you understand how to stay focused on what you have to do every day. You will be able to maintain consistency so you can achieve the success you want. So I'll take this opportunity to share this story right now. So, like I mentioned at the top of this, I'm an active insurance agent, right? Been in the company I'm appointed to since 2009, and I'll be fully transparent. There are times where I stop because, again, life be lifing, and I just stop. Like, I would go hard for 3, 6 months, and I would achieve some success, but obviously not the kind of success that I would like to see and be happy with, right? Not to sound ungrateful, but I made some money, but it could be more, right? And I stopped. But here's the thing. When I stopped, I would have people randomly come up to me. Hey Nick, are you still selling life insurance? You still sell life insurance? Not like asking like how could you still sell life insurance? Like, dude, I need life insurance. can you help me? And I had to go, man, you should have told me, like, where were you at when I was on it and doing everything that I was supposed to do, and I was on my stuff, right? Where were you at? That's what you're saying in your head, right? Or that's what I was saying in my head. And then the person will go, "Whoa, oh well, you're not doing it anymore." It's like, okay, all right, all right. Well, I mean, if you got any information you got could really help me. Tiffany says I was very successful, then hit a wall. So, and this is funny that I did say I was gonna do a question and answer session right after this. So, Tiffany, I will dive into that because I really want to dive into that in a second here. But we all inevitably hit a wall, right? It always happens. And you start to second guess yourself, and you start to feel like maybe there's something that I'm not doing right, something that's not in my marketing, missing from my marketing, broken with my marketing, that's not working. But here's the thing, you got to get back to what made you successful, right? Whatever, it's like building a YouTube channel. One thing as a YouTuber, a content creator, that I have learned, it is very simple. You create 50 videos, and I know it sounds like it's hard to do, but it's really not, right? You create 50 videos, 50 to 100 videos, start with 50, right? You go through your analytics and see what works. What's retaining people? What's keeping people watching? Watch how many minutes they're watching or seconds they're watching, right? And do what works. If you found something that blew up, that worked, do more of that, right? Whatever you did, because let me share this with you, and this will probably help you too, Tiffany. It's not about saying different things to different people. It's about saying the same things to different people. And here's what that does. That helps you perfect your craft. That helps you hone your craft so you can actually learn to get better, where you don't even have to think about what you're going to say. You just say it because you're so used to saying it, right? You're so used to showing up and like, oh, well, this is what I do now and this is what I see next, right? This, and I used to have to do that. So one of the things we had to do in Primerica is read upside down, and I was so uncomfortable. I'm a good reader, I'm a good speller, I'm a talker and stuff like that. You flip that bad boy upside down and we got some problems, right? It was so uncomfortable to read upside down, but the more that I did it, the more I understood it, the more I internalized it, the more I got better at it, right? So you have to continue doing the things that bring you success, right? In our opportunity, right? We make posts on social media, right? Whether it's the pre-written post or the post you create yourself. I create my own because I've been doing this for 8 years and I know a little something about ad copy, right? I'm not saying I'm the best, but I know something about creating copy that draws people's attention, right? So I would create something. I'm like, man, I don't know if that's gonna work, and it works. Like, y'all have to understand. Like, I think I shared this on the Zoom too. Like, in our group, I would spend like 30 minutes working on editing, slicing at just the right time where I cease being poignant and edit to where I start again. So I'm flowing seamlessly through. And then I put captions, I put music, I put animations and all this stuff. Spend 30 minutes creating this immaculate video. Beautiful work of art. I could sell that bad boy, right? And then I get off and I rest and I'm like, you know what? I saw this and this inspired me to create this. I have this quote in my head, right? And I put it up there on Facebook. Picture post, right? Just toss it up there. right? And it works. And I'm like, what? Like my very first sale in IPS was like that, just like that. I literally spent 35 minutes creating a video, getting it to perfection, getting it sounding, looking, acting just the way I wanted to, and then got tired and just threw up something. And I've said what we say enough. The daily pay blueprint make $300, $600 a day because we do it, we see it every day, we live it every day. It happens every day. So you can't help but not have it inside your brain. So I tossed something up and it worked. I literally put it up and forgot about it. And 30 minutes later, I get a ding. Check my phone. It's PayPal telling me I got some money. I was like, okay, so do what? Because I was sitting there, I think I was watching The Incredibles with my kids. I can't remember what I was watching, right? I was watching something animated and I was laughing. And I took a breath to get my phone, and the phone was telling me I made some money. 150 bucks, right? The very first sale, right? And guys, it works. So when you find something that works, just work it, right? Just keep going with it. So what I want to do now is I want to break into in the last 10 minutes here. I'm going to give it an extra 5 minutes because I said I was getting done today, but I want to do at least 10 minutes of questions and answers so you guys can ask a question about marketing and stuff like that. So if Tiffany, if you had something that you wanted to ask me, I know you commented earlier. If you wanted to ask me anything, if anybody else wants to ask me something about marketing, about the science of marketing, about stuff that you've seen that you had trouble with, you can ask me because I wanted to give this an interactive one because this is the 5th episode. I want to give people a chance. So post your questions in the chat, right? So I love doing the Zooms because I get to help real people in real time. And to me there's nothing better than being able to help real people in real time. And you get to see the aha moment go off in their head. And I love aha moments because you literally opened up a whole new world. Like I'll share this is a story that literally changed my life. Like I remember back in high school, I used to go to this English class, English lit. So this is like I think it was 12th grade. I was a senior, and my English teacher gave us a lesson on poetry. And I was like, "Ooh, poetry, that's nice." I know I was never, nothing to write home about, pun intended. As far as poetry is concerned. But like I really really wanted to get a good grade on the assignment, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot and see and everything like that. So I did, and I tried, I really did. But I went up and I gave the work to him, and he was like, oh, okay, I'll have to give you a C minus, or I think it was a D. No, it was a C minus because it was equally as disappointing. So I was like, Mr. Miller, I'll never forget his name. You never forget the people that change your life. You realize that? You never forget the people that really had an effect, a profound effect on you, right? So Mr. Miller says to me, hey, what's up, Nick? What's going on? He was like, I gave you the grade that you get. What's wrong? I was like, well, I know I could have done better. I just, I don't know how to rhyme. Like, I don't know how the structure works. I don't know, what it's supposed to be like. Like, what am I doing wrong? And he was like, well, first, breathe, relax, take a breath. It's okay, right? It's just a C. I was like, no, it's not just a C. If you have island parents, you know what a C means. Like your mom and daddy want to be or better. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, I gotta do better. What can I do? And he was like, and he saw me freaking out. He stopped me. He's like, Nicholas, listen, a poem is a poem because of what the poet says it is. It doesn't have to follow a specific structure. It doesn't have to follow a particular pattern. Whatever you write is a poem. And he was like, you have to stop being bound by rhyming. It's okay not to rhyme. If you're not good at that, that's all right. Write what you write. And I was like, okay, so if what I say was a poem, then why you give me a C then? He was like, because I saw that you were making mistakes in how you were putting words. It wasn't about the rhyme, it was about your effort in the piece. And I was like, oh. So when he said that to me, and he told me, he was like, it is what you say it is, that opened up an entirely new world to me. I went back to my desk a changed man. And then I entered my first poetry competition, right? And it was submitted because back then I was super duper shy. You would never know it by looking at me today. Not even my wife believes I was shy at any point in my life, right? So it was you submitted and stuff like that. And after the contest, like they were announcing the winners, and they were like, Nicholas Francis second place. And my friend is sitting next to me, and they're like, dude, they just called your name. It's like, what? Somebody call my name? What do you mean? It's like, you won second place. I was like, for real? I won. Man, I lost it. I was like, what? My little itty bitty poem won second place? And my friend was like, dude, go up there and get your prize. I was like, he had to snap me out of my moment. I was like, man, really? Second place? And I would go on to win 4 consecutive regional poetry events against poets from around the region, right? And then I entered a national competition and got second place. In the entire US of A, I got second place. I was like, wait, what's happening here? And God was like, you literally got set free from thinking you can't do something. And it literally changed my world, right? And it's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing today. Because even though we're talking about something that can get a little dry, like marketing, because when you talk about corporate marketing, you talk about like spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff, and graphs and all that stuff, and it can get really, really, really dry. But the thing that matters is your marketing is about relationship. Your marketing is understanding about the science. Hey Becca, what's going on? How are you? Did you just come in? I'm not sure. I saw a whole bunch of people come in and a whole bunch of people left, so I don't know. I guess yeah, this is usually around the time the episodes end, but guys, if you missed the episode and you came in late, don't worry, don't fret. They're going to be on my YouTube channel by the end of tonight. Let's see. It says yes, just got home from my day job. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you had a good day at work, Becca. So get settled and all that stuff, and grab yourself something to eat, and let's get to running this business. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. You know, I hope you had a wonderful day at work, Becca, and your day was productive, and nobody got on your nerves, and hopefully something that you hear me say, um, in this series will inspire you to, you know, take something and you be more successful as you want to, so you can decide if you want to leave your job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying quit tomorrow, even though some people might want to. I'm not saying quit tomorrow. Like, the more I do this, the more I work with this blueprint, the more that I teach people about this blueprint. It's like, look, if I had it to do over again, and I'm not saying I'm going to go out to get a job, because me personally, No diss, Becca, because there are people that love their job, love what they do, and they would not trade it, right? But me personally, I can't do it. Like, I spent a couple of years as like a 1099er. Like, I was out there driving for Lyft and Uber and all that stuff, and literally was making money on my own terms. And you know right before my daughter was born, um the industry kind of changed, experienced a big change, and I was so heartbroken because I was like, I'm not making enough money. And my wife was pregnant, and I was freaking out because I'm having a baby girl, and daddy needs to make sure princess get what she wants. And obviously, you're a dad, and your first child is a girl. Like, you slip and fall and give her everything that she wants, especially when they first come into the world. Now I'm a little hip to her game, so I so I was freaking out. Jet, let's see, what's that? I can't really see the person's name. Oh, your screen name is Jesus Christ is Lord. Knock knock. Jesus Christ is knocking at the door of your heart. I appreciate the message. I'm already well in an intimate relationship with Jesus Christ. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. But straying away from my point here, not to say I don't love Jesus. I love Jesus so much, but I'm just saying I was making a point, right? So I was freaking out, and my daughter was born, and we went through some rough times, man. Some rough times. And I give God praise because he had a plan all the way through it and still does now. And I was just so focused on making money, making money. And I was like, I got to do something. And I ended up having to go back to W 2 employment. And the thought process of going back to W 2 employment after spending more than 2 years, because I had been like off and on, in W 2 income, but never anything permanent, right? Well, except for a couple of years when I was in Florida. But this time, like around 2017, when my daughter was born, it was like, yo, this ain't working. Like, I'm not making the money like I need to be making. I'm about to be a daddy. I'm already a husband. Let's see if we can do something different, right? And there's that pressure that's there as husbands, right? So I had to do something different. So I went ahead and I got a job, and like the process really made me physically nauseous. The fact of and I'm just saying me again, this is not knocking anybody that has a 9 to 5, right? It's not, right? But for me, I was just really physically sick. You can ask my wife, right? But I was like, you know what? As my people say in Trinidad, flour is more than water, or water more than flour. So you got to do something. So I did, and I spent 2 years working for this company, right? Only to be told after 2 years, right? And here's the thing, I scheduled my vacation to, take a well deserved break. And, it was, since you work at home, like I worked at home, so everything was virtual, including the HR process, vacation, all that. So I scheduled everything. Everything went through. I have all my days. I got like 8 days off of left of time in the system. Took all 8 days. It's going on a 7-day cruise. So excited, right? And day 3 of my cruise, and I'm out the country. So how I got text messages is beyond me. Probably paid like 25 cents for that text. But, my boss, my new boss, because I went through like maybe 4 or 5 bosses, because I got reassigned to different teams at different times. But my latest boss, it always seemed like, yeah, she was just a little difficult to work with. Everybody said that, right? So I get this text, and she's like, Nick, I'm not sure if you knew, but we gonna need you to come back into work on Monday. Now, this is Wednesday, right? Not Wednesday, because I started on Thursday, so day 3 would be Saturday, right? I'm not scheduled to come back to work till the following Monday, right? Text says we need you back into work on Monday. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not scheduled back till the Tuesday. And so I was just dumbfounded. Now, I am in North Carolina, like offshore North Carolina, having dinner. And I'm like, what is this? So we're scheduled to be in Orlando the next day. So I figured they pull into port in Orlando. I should still have service because I got T-Mobile, y'all. And I'm going to text her back then, right? So she proceeds to tell me, oh, well, I know it's said in the system that all your days were approved when in actuality, you only had like 3 or 4 days. The other 3 days or 4 days, it mistakenly approved you. And I was like, how could that happen? I made sure that I looked at that schedule and I printed it out because I didn't want nobody to say that, oh, these days are not your days and this day, because the Holy Spirit told me, he was like, just go ahead and print it out while you're still at work and you just got off work, so you're just logging out, go ahead and print it out. So I did. And it literally said I had the hours I had. That's why I was able to take those days. So I'm telling her, like, I couldn't be able to take those days if it wasn't there. Hey Sandra, how you doing? Hope you had a great Friday. So I take the paper and I'm like I remember taking the paper and I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. I know I got the days I got. So in that text message now, she's breaking down point systems and all these systems, like you got occurrences and stuff like that from when you were sick. Like I literally was sick unto death. Like I had a full body infection in 2021 and I was literally on the brink, right? Ended up going to the hospital, being hospitalized for almost a week. And so I'm better now and on vacation. And I'm like, okay, so what does that have to do? What does the price of tomatoes have to do with the tea in China? Because my days are approved. She was like, well, in truth and in fact, they're not. So you're either at your desk in my house though, but at your desk on Monday morning, or you may not have a job. And I'm like, okay, you know what, Jesus? I'm gonna be in this moment and be on this boat and be with my family and enjoy this vacation, and we gonna deal with that when it comes. We gonna cross that bridge when it come, right? When I get back, I go to work Monday. Everything usual. Nobody says anything to me Monday, right? Tuesday, nobody says anything. Now Monday and Tuesday, I'm back, right? Monday, like, yes, Tiffany, the whole time I'm worried out of my mind, right? I know the Bible says that God will give you peace. He doesn't give you one of fear, but one of power, love, and a sound mind. So you're not worried, just concerned. But I was worrying, y'all. I was deep in worry every single day, right? So Tuesday comes around. I'm literally talking to my supervisor, same supervisor that sent the text. And I'm like, so what's going on with this? Oh, well, the supervisor, her boss, she doesn't really, I don't think anything's going to happen like that, but I'll talk to her and see what she says and all this kind of stuff. Wednesday comes down, nothing, right? Wednesday comes around, nothing. And I'm like, okay. Friday comes around, everything's cool. Ask her about it. Yeah, it seems like it blew over. It seems like we could work on some things, and you should be fine. So Monday, I get sick. Right, I wake up, my whole body hurts. I can barely get out of bed. And at the time, I had that happen on a regular basis, regular enough to where I had to be on sick leave. So much so that I would have these documents that was like, if you can, you can, and if you can't, you can't, because your body was literally being racked with pain. So I woke up that Monday morning and I was like, there is no way, right? I'm already on thin ice with the company. I can't afford to get sick, right? Got sick. Called into work that morning, early that morning before my shift. So I'm up at 6 a.m. calling the little line or whatever, the phone line you got to call out. Call the line or whatever it is. Everything goes off without a hitch, right? So I figure, okay, I'm good. 9 o'clock, I get a call. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm still half asleep because I finally got a semblance of a rest. So let me just answer the call in a few minutes. Let me wake up because I recognize the number halfway. So let me kind of see what they saying. So I wake up and stuff like that, and I check the message. It's my boss. Hey, Nicholas, just wanted to touch base with you. I wanted to go over some things with you about what we were talking about while you were on vacation. So immediately my heart sinks. Immediately I'm like, oh my goodness, what's about to happen? So I call back, and she's like, hey, I just want, and it went from, hey, just want to. And her very next set of words, her entire tone shifts. She was like, well, as we discussed on while you were on vacation, that your time wasn't what it was, and you took those days knowing that it wasn't this and wasn't that and it wasn't there and it wasn't yours. And I'm like, lady, we had this conversation. You've seen in the system. Like, I'm not telling her this, right? I'm not telling her this, right? But I'm thinking, like, we had this conversation and nothing. And she was like, well, because you weren't back at work and all that stuff, um, we're gonna have to let you go. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, everything I've been through, y'all know I was in the hospital not couple months before. I was getting points, getting occurrences, all that kind of stuff. But because of my medical leave and all that stuff, everything was fine. Like, what is going, like, why? So we have another 10-minute conversation, and she was like, well, if you have a dispute to make about the decision. I'm like, really? Is that what we doing? She's like, I'll call my boss and have her call you. And she calls me back. Her boss calls me back and was like, I heard you had questions about why we decided to let you go. And she basically reviewed verbatim everything my supervisor said and was like, well, there's nothing we could do. We have to let you go. And I was like, you guys don't understand. Like, I gave my best to this company. Like, I'm big on customer service and how you treat people, right? I gave my best. I was one of the best agents. I'm not saying that because I'm saying that. I'm saying that because my customers said that, right? And they were like, well, sorry. Ain't nothing we could do. And they let you go. And I was like, you know what? After this, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going back. Because anytime somebody else can control your income, you will not be in control. As long as you are trading time for dollars, you will not be in control. The time will control you. When I say the time you spend trading for dollars will control your life, right? So it is better to have, and yes, for all the other Christians in the room, God is the one that gives you the power to earn money and bring in wealth. Yes, He is a provider. He has provided for us more than we could ever imagine. Here's the thing. Other than His hands, I'm not putting my income in no one else's hands but my own. And this blueprint allows me to do that. My business outside of this blueprint does that so many times over for me, right? I will never, and this is no this to nobody, but I will never sign up again to put the fate of my family's income in someone else's hands. God's and mines are fine enough, right? And so, unless God says so, I'm not doing it. Anybody else, but this is why I got into what I got into. And long before the people on my team knew me, I have been showing people ways to make money online. I've been showing ways for people to make money from home. I've been showing people ways how to literally take your income back, take your time back. And now this blueprint has offered me the opportunity to do that without even touching my phone for longer than 2 hours a day. It's the best. It's one of the best decisions I have made this year. So, guys, I have given you guys an extra 20 minutes. So, my wife has been texting me. So, just reminding me about family time. So, as much as I love to talk, as much as I love to, continue, I could go on forever, but you guys have your weekend to get to, and so do we here. So, I love you guys so much for tuning in. Let's see, I'm at 1,800 likes. Team, can I get this last 200 likes, please? This last 200. Double tap the screen. Let me get to 2,000. So, guys, if you have not seen this episode, the science on online marketing or of online marketing, right? It is a series I've been going through to help people avoid some of the pitfalls that plagues marketers and to be successful. So you could find the replays on my YouTube channel. I'm at Mr. Millionaire Insight across social media. I have, and I'm gonna put this out there, I have only one other TikTok, and it's because I'm using that for an experiment. I'm testing some new things in my marketing, so I have not reached out to a lot of familiar faces and stuff like that. So don't take it personally. I am just testing something. I'm testing some new things in my marketing, so I want to be able to do that. And once I cross 1,000 followers, then I will be reaching out to people and say, hey, this is my alternate TikTok, because you know how social media is, right? So I only have two. This is the one you're on right now, and the other one is the same, but it has marketing at the end. So Mr. Millionaire Insight Marketing, right? But if you want to stay in contact with me, follow this page, right? If you want to know more about the Daily Pay Blueprint, the 6-figure blueprint, comment all in my last video, my last posted video. Comment all in if you want the information. And if you do, right after this live goes off, or you comment all in right now, I will give you the Affiliate Marketing Secrets for Beginners, my ebook. I will give that to you for free, just for simply subscribing to my link tree, right? So you subscribe by going to the link in my profile and then hitting subscribe, entering your email so I can send you the ebook, and then you will be a part of my email list and I'll be able to show you. Okay? So guys, thank you so much. It's been a blessing to do this. And I pray that that God uses this series to bless someone, to be a blessing to someone else. The give and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men pour into your bosoms. That's biblical. It's not just money, it's of your time and your resources and the things that you have the ability to help people with. So this is my effort to give back. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure, well, I'm not sure, well, I should say this. Tomorrow is the weekend. This is Mother's Day. So I won't do episode 6 until Monday. Okay? So this coming Monday, 7:30 Eastern time, come back to this TikTok and you will be able to catch episode 6 in the science of marketing, and we'll continue to have this discourse. All right, guys, feel free to comment in one of my videos about any questions you might have. But until then, take care of yourself. Have a great weekend. And until I see you again, live life, love God. See you when I see you. Peace.